Great and beautiful morning, afternoon, and evening to you all, wherever you are joining me at this hour. Welcome to 181 edition of Investdata Trading Academy live with Ambrose. I'll say a big thanks to as many that participated in the last Saturday Invest 2023 Summit. I appreciate you all for your time, and I know that this morning we have seen your position already and where we are heading to. As we are looking to see the year 2023, we have to take action after the class, and I believe today many of you to swim into action, and also those that are in those positions already as discussed in the class. If you are there with your position and your confidence in that position, I believe by now has increased because we have seen why to take advantage of this expected financial market and economic reset that we expect in 2023, which I say is already on that way. These are how to invest. Knowledge is key. I tell you that you don't want to you want somebody that has not study to come fly you with aircraft, or you want to go somebody that you know does not undergo some training to go into surgery or to go into these activities. That means if people can go for education to do that, that means for you to move from where you are to financial independence and financial freedom, you need education, and that education is what we provide in Invest Data, even at this platform. And for those that they were there on Saturday, you can see the caliber of speakers and what we grab from that summit. And I believe that today, as you have seen into action, want to look for. I tell you that every investment is against the future. As a position now, I want to watch for how the market also break out going into the future. Yes, I'll say the market as we speak now globally, we start from there, is mixed. Why I say it's mixed, you can see that most matured market and all are in just in a slight red as we speak now, waiting for one information or the other. And I will tell you that the power of economic news or data is very, very important. You can see how this economic data that came last week changed the face of the market that are already in green, waiting for to see the final decision that will come in this month of December, as it will be the last some policy meeting and mature the economy for them to push into the new year 2023. But I believe that like last week when we saw the job report from US market, we saw that also market was not happy for that because that also support rate hike. But the minutes that were read or discussion or speech from most of the members of the policy meeting have said that they are likely to slow down towards the rate of aggression for tightening. But I'll tell you that without the data, so everybody might have to change again. But I'll tell you there are two major risks across the globe and also down here domestic. I'll tell you what is happening now is the risk of inflation and also geopolitical tension. These are the major two risks that I believe that investors should also watch whenever they're taking a decision. Because I'll tell you, as quickly or at nearest time they start kind of slowing down in rate hike, that will also change the economic perception and activities, because the fear of recession because of this rate hike and because of inflation is really dampening some investors confidence, and that is and also what is happening in Ukraine and Russia. Yes, we can see that Putin is ready for peace, but also fear of what also China and Taiwan, nobody know what's going to happen. And these are the things that you should keep your eye that they are going to change the face of the economy. At the beginning of the year, as of January, all forecast was how this is going to do. But in February, you can see that when Russia and Ukraine conflict started, it changed the whole thing. Today, I tell you that distortion in supply in energy, in crude, is what has kind of impacted this kind of price we're seeing. And also, don't forget that because of COVID-19 era, a lot of money was pumped by this matured economy into their system, and that also become a major factor that also supported what the inflation was seeing. Or can see fear of inflation that also is going to lead to world economic inflation. And like I told you earlier, this geopolitical tension around the world is another thing to look at. But as to speak now, no matter what is happening, there are some sectors that are still looking attractive for investors to always look at. I will tell you that is the energy, which is the oil sector. You can see, that sector is very, very important to watch. What the financial sector, the banking, and also you can also look at the telecoms, which is the technology, if I say, and at the same time, look at the agricultural sector and industrial sector and medical healthcare sector. These are the things we look at. As we look at them, we need to look at exactly what is happening there the sentiment where is it moving. That's why your chart is very, very important as a trader or investor. Don't just invest in the assumption or fundamental is good. You need to know the right price to buy. That's why you must keep your eyes on work on the chart to look at the price action of these big companies. What is the structured price action? What is the momentum? And the timing is very, very also important when you are charting. These are the things you should also be looking at when you are, But if you come down here, I'll tell you, for when I mentioned the energy or petroleum sector, look at, yes, particularly what is happening in our down here in our nation. I will tell you that looking at the few weeks now, we're being in scarcity of fuel, of fuel or what we call it, PMS. This I tell you that most of these companies that are involved in marketing of the petroleum, I will tell you their profit margin has improved similarly within the short period. So that those that has a product on the ground before this kind of price of 250, 240 become rampant everywhere across the political station of the country. I'll tell you, these are what we're looking at. We expect to see this thing reflecting on the full year result of this. And that's why you as an investor should start positioning ahead of those numbers that we have seen some of the companies in that sector result outstanding. With this again to be a plus for them. And don't forget that next period consumption of because a lot of traveling here and there, movement for the holiday, despite insecurity, we expect that this also going to be a plus for them. I believe that these are what you should look at. I've mentioned almost 4 sectors or 6 sectors now. I should keep your gaze and go for the leaders in that sector and put fundamentals are very key and their dividend yield is high. And also do that also add a kind of possibility of what of increasing their payout. This time we're not expecting a kind of a dividend cut because we believe that these companies are able to manage this, navigate through this increasing headwinds, and we are seeing a number that point to that like we are likely to see. But I believe that as we go into the year 2023, we are going to see also more of a mixed sentiment and also of what activities, or especially as the election come closer. And also, don't forget that after the election, we're going to see what post-election rally. This is why this is the time for you to position, and any season is that period of the first quarter of the year. These are the things, and also we expect to see also reform coming from different angles. Already we have seen reform coming from the monetary policy team, the CBN and his team. Also, we expect that to happen also in the foreign exchange market. Also, the economy, when the government come on board, reform will come from business sector. These are the things we also start positioning ahead. Once we get it right, I say the market is set for another rally. As I said, when I said it in the class last week, that market is setting the stage for a new rally, or can we call it see that we have already entered that mood already in the market. That means you need to keep your eyes in the market. Like I always say, have a plan before you enter the market and trade your plan. And when you trade your plan, you must have your watch of stop loss, you must have your watch of profit target, and your entry and exit strategy must be at your fingertip. Like for example, that your stop loss is as important of picking a stock. Like I also said that using your watch, your fundamental, your foundation to see a company that has value, that fundamental is strong, but the right price to buy is what your TA will tell, with your technical analysis, that's your charting, looking at what the price action, looking at what the momentum within that stock, also looking at what the sentiment of people in the market is very, very important. As I've said earlier, that the matured market are in red at this hour, but down here we're seeing that our NGS in green. When I mean matured market, you can see that US S&P, Dow and the Nasdaq are in red now. In Europe market, you can see that the fear of of a recession has also grabbed there. You can see that, and also even the plan reopen of a Chinese economy because of COVID-19 in China. But we believe that this also supposed to play now. But because of a decline in the eurozone business activities, as reviewed by their the purchasing manager index, that's also why we are seeing the market in that zone to speak now are also in red. They are also open here lower this morning. But we believe that as market go into the day, we expect to see information that will change it. But the trend now, as we speak now, those markets are down as we speak. And also the fear of Taiwan and also what is happening in Ukraine. And but we believe that now that there's a sign of reopening in China, oil price continue to oscillate also. And don't forget that this energy price impact energy price and all. But we believe that going into the week, we'll see more information that we have. But as we speak at this hour, this is the state of the market. If you come to Africa, Africa market is also mixed, but one NGS is in green. Good for NGS that we are seeing that momentum is also building in NGS as the year end of the year draw closer. That tells you that as an investor, you need to do one thing now not a time for you to be panicking because market have shown a sign of a buy market already. People taking position ahead of end of the year, knowing that most of majority of the company on the exchange, the NGS here are what are December year end account, and that we expect to see the result on or before what at the 1st of March for those that has what December year end. These are the factors that are driving our market here down home. But as we speak, no, the market is in green and green and green and green. I would say so because last week we saw that the month of November ended, in a positive note, gaining about 8.72, and that has been extended into the new month of December. But that the first 3 trading of December, we saw the 4-day flat market. On Friday was over at this hour, also seeing a green market. Something is going from we are seeing a buy position as at the close of business on Friday, so that the market on a daily chart in terms of money flow was reading about 89.17, and while the weekly is about 32 points. You can see how that one is entering. We'll come to live market to see what the market is doing now. Before that, we want to look at the result that came from from ETI, Eco Transnational. We discussed that of FCMB before we went on our break for the preparation for our investment 2023. But I will tell you that the number that came from ETI was the flat number, but this number also point that there's also a high upside potential for that stock. If you look at the number is not bad. I will tell you that this number is not bad, but looking good, but they still remain in two-digit, kind of change in terms of percentage change, which is good. Therefore, ETI, the gross earnings move from 686.77 billion to 761.28 billion, representing about 11% up. Also, the PAT for that same period also moved from from 114.51 billion to 117.41 billion, representing 12.34% up. EPS of what of 6 naira 40 kobo. I will tell you the P ratio is very very low, 1.72. You can see what it is, and for me it's a good sign. If you look at the company, earnings is about 58.1, and this is the highest in that industry. NEC for me is a good one for the market, so that you can also keep your eyes on this stock. It tells you what is in for you as an investor. Also, if you look at the profit margin for the period, yes, 15.42% profit margin, and also return on equity is about also 15.5%. You can see that I will tell you in all standard, apart from the top line and the bottom line that is below our standard and Investdata, 20% plus, but others are still in right direction. The P ratio tells you that for those that are looking for capital appreciation, you look at P ratio, but while those that are looking for more dividend also look at what earning per share. And in this case, for ETI, I'll tell you the P ratio is low, 1.7 as at Q3, and also we're seeing at 6 naira 40 kobo for what earning per share. You can project from this earning per share of 6 naira 40 kobo at the end of the year, 8 naira 750 is possible for investor in that now. And that also, don't forget, they pay in dollar, and these are dual listing company. I believe that what is also happening globally as the banks of different the central bank of different economies also hiking their rate. This also have a way also impacting the performance of this company in different domain in Africa where it operates. We expect to see more of a good number from this sector. I've said it earlier that the banking sector, when I was also looking at a sector to watch in this season, I mentioned financial sector and where ETI operate. The result also that emerged from FCMB. These are the last result that came. The result also was also impressive, as I discussed last period, that the FCMB result was fantastic. We see engineer boosting about 1 naira 60 kobo, 1 naira 16 kobo earning per share, 1 naira 16 kobo earning per share for the first time, and that is with price store that is selling below 3 naira 50 kobo. You can see what it means, and for me, this also a good sign. P ratio for that is about 2.88 for FCMB. You can see what the banks are doing, and they were seeing that the earnings is about 34.71%. and it's a good one for me. And yes, the P ratio, I said the P ratio. I said that the profit margin here is an improvement from 9% to 11.14%, and why the return on equity is 8 points. You can see that of ETI. Even the price of ETI is high, but you can see that the company earnings is still strong as we speak. That investor should also know the kind of stock should be taking position in this financial sector. One will know the company that always grow their what their earnings, and at the same time they support their payout. These are where you should also be putting your tent as we speak now in that industry. Yes, coming back to the life market, we want to look at what the market is doing now as we speak. We have you know we have nine we have about nine gainers and six losers, and the market is trading as we speak for almost the market is trading at 48,311.84, and this is about 156.12 basic points, representing 0.31% in the green at this hour. Is a good one. Like I said, market breadth is positive, nine gainers against six losers. This is a good market as we speak in all standard, and investor in the market should also keep their finger crossed. We are seeing the market opening on a good note today, being the first trading day of the week, and that is a good sign for the week. And don't forget, I've said it that December, you know, Santa Claus rally is underway, and if you check the history of our market in December, it closed more on what up than low in December. And like I said it in one of the programs, in the last 20 years, December has got closed about 3 times negative in that of 20 years. That means you see more, tell you that the more percent probability of closing higher is, and also don't forget that we're seeing a high dividend yield and earnings around the corner. And also, even with what's happening in inflation environment, people want to edge against inflation, and that is why we expect to see funds coming to the market. But like I said it also, the volume we're seeing in the market is still not reflecting the movement we are seeing. You can see we have not seen the full presence of the international investor, but I believe that gradually it start coming as the market is crossing some psychological lines in terms of moving average. Market has crossed the 50 days moving average, has also crossed the 20 moving average, trading above the T line. I believe that these are what to expect, and also the time frame. Like I said, that time and the price is very, very important. And also, if you look down back to here, I told the importance of what of my macroeconomic data. Also saying that last week when we released the purchasing manager index for our country, Nigeria, we saw that for the month of November that hit the 6 months high of 54.3 point from 53.6 recorded in October. Despite the inflationary pressure, high cost, you can see that activities in the manufacturing sector, the private sector is also increasing. That is what the purchasing manager index tells us. That means people are demand. And also don't forget that I said it that this last quarter of the year, it comes a lot of what things. You can see October was better than the month of September. We can also say November is better than the month of October. This also guide you that this has a also reflecting on the numbers of this company on the exchange. That is why you need to know exactly what is happening. As to speak now, the top gainers in the market, we're seeing Guinness leading. We're seeing Guinness leading, followed by internal oil. At the same time, we're seeing stock like Boa is also on the gainer chart. These are the ones that are leading now. Presco on the gainer chart. These are the top gainers. Then if you look at the losing chart, you can see that all those stocks that are also rallied last week are the ones topping those gainer chart as we speak. You can see that flat. We see the LPN holding there as those losing this hour. We're seeing Fidelity in that category also. At the losing side of the market. But I believe that these are the position of the market now. 9 gainers and 6 losers. These are what is happening live in the market. But quick one, we want to look at the charts now to really see what is happening live in the market. Looking at our chart from here, you can see that the chart, I've said it in one of the also class that the chart has formed a copper handle. But you need to understand that if you look at this point and this one, the market has broken on another top here. Now this is the first one it broken, that's broken out already. You can see and broken out on the volume. I were not too much, but you can see that the volume is still below moving average. That is what on a daily chart. But I said, like on a weekly chart last week, we saw that market was trading above, the moving average, above the average traded volume as at last week. But we can see that the market maintained on this uptrend is still powerful, still strong momentum as we speak, and that's why you need to keep your eyes on the market at this hour to look at and also to understand what is also happening in the market. Is very, very important. Very, very important. I see that market has broken out toward the 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 top channel line, because this is a channel that told that the market was really bearish. But this was a bearish channel that we're watching, and we'll watch to see where the market is going, and find out that this was the position of the market. You can see, but market have recovered all this ground, after kind of forming a saucer here. It maintained to form a copper handle, and copper handle in a technical analysis chart pattern shows that the market has a strong upper upside potential. Add this to this, that's what likely. That means if the trend continue, as we are seeing also that the high cap stock that moved the market in early January to around May are also coming back briefly now, short, coming out slightly now. We believe that they will also go to support the market, especially when the corporate action start hitting the market. And for those, you can see also there today the qualification date for that of FBN holding, also Nigeria Brewery, that is NBN here. NBN Nigeria Brewery, today is the qualification date. Tomorrow, we will mark down for the bonus. These are the things you can see that today we will see the life of Guinness, bouncing back. These are the things that you should look at. This corporate action expectation is what we're driving the market, but you need to also keep your eyes. But you can see now, market has broken out the top resistance line here of the channels, or the bearish channel. It's a good sign that market market has broken out this double top formation here. That means the next top we're looking at is at this top, which is here is like a support level. A support level now becoming like a top now, and this is a resistance level. You can see it here. Once market able to break at this resistance level as we speak, at this point here now, down here, that says that another trend, uptrend, has also continued. And this is why you should keep your eye. Once you are seeing market breaking out all this resistance level, then the market is heading somewhere. Yes, quick one. We want to call up our indicators for our analysis because of our time. Let's quickly call those up now and start using them immediately. Money flow. We need to look at money flow. What is money flow doing this morning? Look at our T line. Is very, very important, and we don't joke with it here in this class. Our T line, want to see what is doing. We can see that the T line, the price action is far, or index action is far from the T line. Tell you that time for take profit. But there's still potential for this stock to rally, the market to rally, the general market index we are looking at this point now. Then we need to call up our MACD is a lag indicator, but for us, for strength, we are looking on to call up our stochastic oscillator to guide us to look at what we are doing now. Stochastic oscillator is what we are going to take now. Take RS, stochastic oscillator RS, fine, it's just a good one. But yes, these are the what we want to crowd the chart with indicators. You can see here that the market is still making a uptrend. You can see the candlestick together is shorter than the last one, but still in green. And money flow as we speak, I told you yesterday was on Friday on the daily chart was 89.17. Now this hour is already 93 point. That is what and we're seeing that market remains strong. Looking at where the stochastic oscillator is now, you can see where it is really now. I tell you, the momentum in the market is still strong. You can see if you are to tell you that this oversold region, you stop running. After running out of the market continue. Yes, at the region where it tells that the momentum is strong, not that it's oversold region, overbought region. Momentum is strong for you to watch, especially as the market is above the T line. Tell that the market is still making an uptrend and the trend is still strong. That is what you should know at this point. Yes, quick one. Want to look at those stocks that we mentioned. Well, let's look at it on the 1 hour chart because of our time. Then, yes, on the 1 hour chart, you can see that the market is still very, very strong. I will tell you, can see strength here, strong momentum here. Money flow is still within 87. It's a good one, and for me, it's a good one for the market. Quick one, I want to look at some stocks we have just marked out to look at. Starting with the GT code, we'll take them fast because of our time so that we can cover all the stuff. So we're looking at the GT code, LBN Holding, WAPCO, Internal, Presco, Boa Cement, and the Fidelity. These are the stuff we want to cover before the time runs out. Don't forget that once it's a 12:30, system will log us out. Let's see what we can do with 5 minutes left. On the 1 hour chart, if you look at what is happening in GT code, you can see that GT code profit taking is not far from it. Like I told you, once you see that the price action is far from the T line, you can see that when it touched almost this on Friday, almost 2160 before coming to close at 2140 that day. You can see that it's a sign, but this morning we only see a sign of weakness, profit taking, but this on a 1 hour chart. You can see it's there now, but the momentum is still strong for the sign of profit taking. You can see it here on a 1 hour chart for the stock. You need to look at also on a day chart. On a day chart, it remains strong, forming a kind of what we call a doji. Here now, this is an inverted doji. It's a sign that this upside is a sign of weakness for the upside for now. Profit taking, pulling it down. But the good thing that money flow remains around 72. Strong for me, and momentum is still very strong. Looking up on a daily chart, that is why you can. That is why to watch to know what is happening in the market. For me, on a daily chart, the stock is still good for GT code. Quick one, look at the FBNH. FBNH, what is happening there? I want to look at what is happening in FBNH. FBNH on a day chart is now flat on the T line. Yes, there's a little sign of this a bullish a sign of a green position, but we're seeing that money flow is looking that slightly, and the momentum is weak where it is now. That's crossed below 50, yes, but still weak, going down. It's a sign of weakness we're seeing in the. So that's why it dropped from 1120 to 11 naira to speak. And if you look at the 1 hour chart now, there's also a bullish engulfing. If you look at the last candlestick and the next one, and come and watch here, money flow is flat around 47. Once we cross 50, and we're seeing there's a weakness, weaker momentum now. You can see it here again. Yeah, that means we need to watch this stock, call LBN holding. The next one here is for us to look at WAPCO. Quickly look at what the WAPCO is telling us now. WAPCO, I mean Lafarge Africa. Lafarge Africa on a 1 hour chart is very, very strong. You can see it here. And was also same volume, and this is a good one. We're seeing on the 1 hour chart, this is a good volume, and momentum is increasing. And money flow on the 1 hour chart has crossed over within 76. Let's quickly look at a day chart for the stock. Day chart is trading flat on the T line on a good volume. You can see that not make a good but we're seeing volume already of sudden money flow crossing 50 to reach 50 53, and momentum is very strong for this WAPCO. Keep your position in WAPCO if you are there, hold it and watch the market. There is strong momentum, and we're seeing a sign of a position taking, seeing a good volume coming, and the stock is in green. Yes, the green is not much, but I believe it's a good sign, and the money flow have crossed 50, basic one reading 53. Quick one, look at the internal because of our time. Internal, I want to look at. I told you about the oil sector, what is happening there now. Into also where you should also look at what is happening in on the marketing sector. You can see a leap on a day chart here. Money flow already leading 76. This is a good one, and momentum is strong, and that's very good for the stock. And the earnings of this company is also strong. Look at it very well. I think it's a stock you should watch. If you are there, watch this stock very well, and see what you can do with the stock. I can see it's a stock to hold. See kind of a stronger, candlestick we are seeing here with good volume. So when there is something is happening in this stock, you should keep your eyes on this stock if you are in the market. Yes, look at what is happening in Presco. These are the top gainers today. Look at what is happening in Presco. Because of our time, let's quickly have just 1 hour, a minute to 2 minutes to round up. Let's time with on Presco. Presco on a 1 hour chart, you can see that yes, we see a good volume here, but we're seeing also a weakness here, some sign of weakness here to say that people are just trying to take profit on a 1 hour. On the last 1 hour, you can see a big candle and a short one coming down. Yes, we're still going to put our finger crossed The momentum is very strong. Money flow is very strong. 89. It's a good one on a 1 hour chart. Let people look at the day chart for Presco to see what it's doing. Presco is just making a good move now. It's across the T line. You know what it means when a stock cross the T line. Do that with us. And also money flow reading a 63. Nice, a good one. And we're seeing momentum coming back to the stock after the stay at nearly oversold region. We're seeing an uptrend now. The more this momentum increase, the more the price will go up. Yes, quick one. We'll look at the Boas Cement. Look at Boas Cement as we speak. Boas Cement. Look at Boas Cement. It's very, very important. This company performance is also improving. Boas Cement on the day chart has tested 8 naira today, 18 naira today, but we're seeing the price now. It has go down to around 74 again. But let's keep our finger crossed on this stock. We're seeing also improve volume, almost slightly above the average traded volume for the stock today. But I'll tell you, momentum is still very, very weak. Even when money flow is there, I mean, this momentum, we have to keep our eyes. The momentum is weak, but try to come up, watch on the stock, and this on the daily chart. On the 1 hour chart for Boa, you can equally see it on 1 hour chart. Momentum is still very slow and a bit weak, but we're seeing volume coming out of the stock. It's a good one. Let's also keep our finger crossed. And then the final one, the last but not the least, let's look at it before this thing goes out. Fidelity Bank. Fidelity. Look at Fidelity. Fidelity, I will tell you on a 1 hour chart, yes, it's slightly below the T line. Once they break out on a 1 hour chart, but you can see momentum is strong, and there's already a sign here of weakness in momentum when you look at it here, but it's still strong where it is, but that's what sign of but money flow is also has gone as high as 88 for a 1 hour chart. If you look at the daily chart for the stock, they are trading above the T line, but now trading flat on top of the T line on the red position. It's sell position, which also have reflected on the money flow, looking down slightly to read a 67, and there also momentum also giving a sign of weakness in momentum, but still strong for a sign of well until go below here for one attack on. Momentum is still strong, but already was a sign of weakness or profit taking or sell off, which we have seen in the red here on a daily chart. On this note, I will say thank you for your time today, and we look forward to see you tomorrow. Like I always say, subscribe to go to our YouTube and subscribe. We have posted a lot of information within the weekend. Those videos will tell you a lot of things to also guide you. That's why you need to subscribe so that anytime we post any video, you'll be alerted. Go to our site, you see the chart that was written for this week, the chart pattern that you should watch. They're also there. I look forward to see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your trading day. Bye.